We are under the lights this evening as we get you set for another edition of Baseball on the Show. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Cincinnati Reds and the Toronto Blue Jays. Blue Jays baseball is next. Tanner Roark will be on the mound for the series opener. What's your take on him, Dan?
Hey, you don't see a lot of guys that have 5 pitches, right? Sometimes it's hard to master even 2 or 3, but if you can master 5 like he has, he'll be in pretty good shape.
So stepping in, Barry Larkin, and we are set for baseball here this evening. Three and two now. Something has to give. Here's the payoff pitch. Again, he sends it out of play. And he lays off. Ball 4, and the leadoff man is on to begin the ball game.
Well, the reason power hitters generally draw more walks than other guys is exactly what we saw right there. Pitchers work around them and nibble the corners a lot more so they don't get burned. He made some good pitches, but he just couldn't get him to chase enough out of the zone.
Now at the plate, Joe Morgan. The 1-1 home. Larkin gets his lead at first, nobody out. Now a hard liner, but foul. The 1-2.
Nope. This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
All even at 2-2. Here it is. Ground ball sent back up the middle. Oh, and this goes right past him.
Batting third, the left fielder, George Foster.
So now to the plate, George Foster. And he lays off the pitch down and away. Ball 2. Guys, as the Jays take the field here tonight, they come in a real funk to start the year. Still searching for what's been an elusive first win.
Yeah, Matty, this is the perfect guy to have on the mound. A veteran, not going to let the moment get too big for him.
Just a sec now as that ball finds its way into the outfield. A base hit. And the run will score as the Reds strike first to lead it 1-0.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, Tony Perez.
Stepping in now, Tony Perez heading out towards shallow right. Grichuk has to come in a few steps, but he has it for out number 1. If he'll just get the 1 out here as the runner will get back safely at first.
The catcher, number 5, Johnny Bench.
Stepping up now, Johnny Bench. And now the Reds look to push more across the plate in the opening frame. Oh, and not an easy pitch to lay off of, but he did somehow, and he's got it to 3-1. And there are the umpires assigned to this one. Calling balls and strikes is Mr. Mike Fillmore.
Hey, you know, D-Roll, Mike Fillmore, he'll give a little bit off the edges, but he gets the respect not only from the pitchers, but from the players because his zone is consistent.
Yeah, as long as he's consistent, Dan, I'm okay with Mike Fillmore's zone. If a pitcher's pounding that zone, he wants to give a little bit off the outer edge, I'm okay with that.
So it's bases loaded, 1 away, and in steps Adam Dunn. 23 pitches already here in the first inning. And it's fouled away. And he fouls this one off. Done with that open stance, and here's the pitch. High and deep to right center. Catch made in center. Here comes the runner from third. And the run is in to score from third. It's a 2-0 ball game.
Obviously, he's hoping for more up there with the bases loaded, but you can't be too upset with the sac fly.
Stepping in, Eric Davis, and we'll see what he can do here. 2 on, 2 away, 2 home so far this inning. 2 down, runners at first and second. And the count will be full. 3-2 pitch. Too close for comfort, and he did a good job just to make contact. Fouled off. Once again, a 3-2. Fouled away. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. And he struck him out. So he was forced to make 9 pitches that at-bat, but he'll take it as the inning is over. So 2 runs on 2 base hits, no errors, and a couple of men left. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. Reds out in front, 2-0. Tyler Mahle gets the start for Cincinnati in this one. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Hey, Matty V, this ought to be exciting. This is one of the top young pitchers in the game right now. He keeps getting better. He keeps learning. And if he continues at this pace, this guy has a chance to be one of the more reliable pitchers in the game.
Digging in, Roberto Alomar. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. That's on the corner to put him behind now. 1-2. Now the pitch. And he lays off the curveball. Strike 3 called, and that's going to be out number 1. At the plate, John Olerud. He was 1 for 4 with a 2-bagger in yesterday's game. 1 out, nobody on. Just hung in there on that one.
Back-to-back strikeouts in the first right here. Pitcher is setting the tone, pounding the zone.
Doesn't chase after the splitter, and he works it back to a full count. Paul Molitor will be next. Looking for back-to-back Ks to start the game. And he squares up on this one. Deep to straightaway right. See you later. Over the wall, a home run. A solo shot here to straightaway right field. Second home run early in the year. And the Blue Jays are on the board. It's now a 2-1 ball game.
No surprise with that swing of the bat. This guy is simply one of the best in the game right now. There's not too many guys that take a beautiful hack like that in the league.
Into the box, Paul Molitor. Popped him up. Perez is over, and he tucks it away for the second out.
Batting fourth, the center fielder, Joe Carter.
So bases are empty here with 2 gone. And up next, former World Series hero Joe Carter. 2 out, nobody on. And it's fouled away. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Yanked the slider across that time, laid off for a ball.
Looks like this guy's afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone. Gave up that home run earlier in the inning. Needs to get back to being aggressive.
The 2-2. Hit out towards second. Reined in. Throw over to Perez will be in plenty of time, and the inning is over. Jays answer right back with this solo home run. We'll head to the top of the second. It's the Reds 2 and the Blue Jays 1. All set for the start of the inning, and next to bat will be Jesse Winker. Lifted down the line in left. On the run is Hernandez, and they can't run it down. Here is a ground ball now for the shortstop to the right of second. Throw to first will be in time, and there's one gone here to start the second.
Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 7, Eugenio.
So the bases are empty with one man gone. And into the batter's box next, a guy who's developed into one of the big-time power hitters in the league, Eugenio Suarez. And here's a pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 now. A swing and a miss. He offered it a ball way outside the strike zone for out number 2.
He's looking a lot sharper and settled in here in the second inning. It'd be hard not to, because that first inning was pretty much a mess. But I give him credit for letting it go and making some really good adjustments.
Standing in now, Barry Larkin. And he lays off for a ball. 2-1. Liner toward right center. Richard is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Reds are down and ordered. They still lead it 2-1. Now at the plate, Bo Bichette, as they'll have 5, 6, and 7 here to start the home half of the second. The 3-2 pitch is a wave and a miss. He struck him out.
Wow, that's awfully impressive right there. The pitch before was really close. Called the ball. What does he do? He comes back with a better pitch and gets the punch out.
In now, Lourdes Gurriel. A ball and 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
The 1-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Bases are empty, 1 man out. And a fastball swung on and missed as he just reared back there. 2 away.
Man, I love watching a pitcher that just rears back and blows smoke by a guy at the letters. That's the ultimate challenge pitch, and for me personally, watching hitters swing and miss, man, that's a sight of beauty.
Into the box now, Teoscar Hernandez. Maybe trying to back him up a bit there with the fastball. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And he fouls this one off. Struck him out, so he makes quick work of him here. 3 straight strikeouts, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. Our score remains 2-1. New inning set to get underway, and Joe Morgan strides up to the plate. Something has to give. Here's the payoff pitch. Now a swing and a ball popped in the air back behind short, and Bichette settles under it. There's one away.
Now batting, the left fielder, George Foster.
Striding in once again, George Foster. He came through with an RBI single in his last at bat. A 2-1 score here as we play inning number 3. Hit on the ground down the first baseline, but this will get foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. Back up the middle, and that'll find its way into center field for a 1-out hit.
Hey guys, he's not known for being a singles hitter right here, but that's his second knock of the game.
And I'm sure he'll take him, but the guys on the other side of the scorecard might be thinking we really avoided a worse fate. At the plate now, Tony Perez. Trying to shave that outside corner with the fastball, and he missed it. It's 3-1 now.
To be honest with you, I'm a little bit more afraid of the guy on deck than the guy that's up right now. If I'm on the mound, I want this guy up right now. He's the guy that's got to beat me.
And he lays off here. A nice job. It's ball 4. First and second now with one away.
Well, he's really laboring in the early going here. That's his third walk of the game already. We'll see if he can get it together or if this is just one of those days where he's going to have to grind his way through this start.
Stepping into the box, Johnny Bench. He drew a walk his first time up. The 1-1 home is strike 2 swinging.
Made him look silly with that one.
First and second now, 1 man out. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the Reds catcher.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. Here's another 2-2. High in the air out to center field. Carter is back, and he'll get there to make the play for route number 2.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Adam Dunn.
Now they'll have to deal here with Adam Dunn. He hit a sac fly earlier. Oh, and he hammers it to deep right field. And that one is gone on a 2-strike count with 2 away in the inning. A no-doubter 3-run homer for Adam Dunn. Home run number 3 here in the early going, and it's suddenly a 5-1 ball game.
When this one left the bat, I thought it was going to be an easy out to right, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and the right fielder gave it a great effort and almost brought it back, but no dice.
To the plate now, Eric Davis. And it's 1-2.
Count is 1-2.
Hit hard but foul to the left, and they'll try it again. Trying to send him packing for the second time. Waved at and missed for the 3rd out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. But 3 for the Reds in the inning, all coming on this 3-run home run. Bottom of the 3rd coming up. It's the Reds 5 and the Blue Jays 1. Bottom of the inning now, and coming forward the veteran outfielder Rendell Grichuk. Now the 1-1 pitch. Now a ball swung on and heading for the stands in right, and that'll move the count to 1-2 now. And here's a slider. Strike 3 called, and that'll be the first out of the inning.
Boy, he's really on a roll on the hill right now. As we roll through it again, remember, he struck out the side in the last inning, and now he picks up right where he left off by striking off the leadoff man here. Let's see if he can keep this going for a little bit.
Standing in, Danny Jansen. The 1-2 is offered at and missed. He chased it for strike 3.
Man, he is looking flat out unhittable on the mound right now. That's
Now
5
back,
straight
second
punch-outs.
baseman,
I love it, but I think he might want to get his defense involved at some point so they don't fall asleep.
Stepping in now, Roberto Alomar. And it's 2 balls and a strike to the Jays leadoff batter. Liner toward right center. Winker is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. Blue Jays go down in order. They're down here 5-1. Start of the 4th upcoming, but first, Heidi Watney standing by with a report.
Matt, I had a chance to talk about the state of the Reds offense with their manager between innings, and overall he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. They've already worked out 3 walks, so he feels as though that kind of willingness to let the opposition work themselves into trouble will continue to result in good things for them on the scoreboard.
All right, Heidi, thank you. Now at the plate, Jesse Winker as we begin the top of the 4th. Here now the 2-2. And he goes and chops this one out towards second. Alomar gloves it. Throw to first in time. 1 gone here in the 4th.
Well executed 2-seamer on the outside corner that time, and that's what you'll get a lot of with that pitch. He rolled right over it.
Ready now, Eugenio Suarez. He'll look to bounce back after striking out his last time up. Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1. Now some definite signs of life in that Toronto bullpen. Both a lefty and a right-hander begin to throw. And he jumps at a changeup, a swing and a miss.
Hey, I'd like to see a little bit more discipline in that. You get a count in your favor and swinging a pitch that bad? Not good.
And he lays off a pitch off the plate and high. 3-2.
It'd be great right here if he was able to work himself on base. You got the leadoff hitter on deck, and you know the middle of the order's coming up right behind him.
And he takes ball 4. So a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
And I'm pretty sure he thought that was a strike. He's thinking, what do I have to do? Put a bow on it? Walk it down and put it in the catcher's glove by myself? I think it got called a little outside, so he has to put it behind him now.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Barry Larkin. He lined out in his last trip, so looking for better fortunes here.
Yeah, he hit it hard. That's all you can ask. You can't control the result sometimes, Matty. Just unlucky with the placement.
Carter calls off the left fielder as he takes charge for the second out.
Up next from Cincinnati, the second baseman, Joe Morgan.
Striding into the box, Joe Morgan. He's 1 for 2 in the ball game. The 1-1 home. And this one gets away. And he'll make it into scoring position here with 2 away, as that'll be scored a wild pitch. He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. Grounder hit hard down the first baseline. But this will be a foul ball as that evens things at 2-2. From the belt, the pitch. Hit out towards second. Alomar has it. Throw on to first gets him, and the side is retired. One left for Cincinnati. They're up 5-1. Ready to go in the bottom of the fourth, and set to go is the veteran first baseman, John Olerud. And a slider. Oh, got a favorable call on that one, as that's the first out of the inning.
I think we're starting to see the frustration mount from this offense. It's been a pretty dominant performance on the mound, and these hitters have had no answer for anything he's throwing up there. That will wear on you if it lasts throughout most of the game like it has here.
Here now the 2-2. Back up the middle and in for a base hit.
Hey, D-Row, that's a one-out single right there. And, hey, the pitcher hasn't pitched out of the stretch in a while. He's been pretty sharp so far in this one.
Yeah, and hopefully that runner right there can get his attention a little bit more diverted on first base, and then he leaves a cookie over the middle of the plate.
3-1.
I got 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
The 3-1. Grounded up the first baseline. Perez fields it cleanly. Over to Perez for a side retiring double play. Nothing doing for the Blue Jays. They're down 5-1. Matt Shoemaker will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his third game this season.
Matt Shoemaker.
Stepping into the box, George Foster. Couple of singles to his credit thus far. The 1-2.
Ball, that's too high. We got full count.
From 0-2 to 3-2, what a great at-bat to start this inning off. Hey, this could be a productive inning.
Now the payoff pitch home. And a good eye here as he takes ball 4, and it's a base on balls to lead off the 5th inning.
That was a great battle right there. He tried to get him to chase, but he laid off some really tough pitches and got a walk. Got to tip the cap to the batter that time.
In now for the Reds, Tony Perez. He's 0 for 1 thus far. And this one's in the dirt. Runner holds as the count moves to 2-1. Has a look, now the pitch. Skied into straightaway right. Right fielder is on the run. He makes the catch. A great effort to get there and record the first out of the inning.
The catcher, number 5, Johnny Bench.
Striding in, Johnny Bench comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. It's a 5-1 game here in inning number 5. A 1-2 count to Johnny Bench. Fouled off.
Great job of running that fastball in on his hands right there with 2 strikes. Even though the batter's able to foul that one off, he's set up for almost anything in this pitcher's arsenal.
In the dirt here. And it's not in time as he's in well ahead of the throw. And just what they wanted offensively as the runner moves into scoring position.
Well, the intent there with that 2-strike pitch was obviously to get him to fish for something he couldn't do a whole lot with. But there's the risk that comes with that as well. If you don't execute or your catcher can't handle it very well, you give up free bases.
The 2-2.
Count full.
Five runs on only 4 hits and no errors in the game for Cincinnati thus far. To short. Throw in time at first for route number 2.
The batter, number 44, designated hitter, Adam Dunn.
Next will be the designated hitter, Adam Dunn, runner in scoring position with 2 gone.
It'll be interesting to see if they use that changeup in this at-bat. That last at-bat, that was a changeup he hit for a home run. I'm going to see if this time they don't go to more fastballs and curveballs.
Now a swing by Dunn and a ground ball to the right side. They'll whip this one to first in time, and that ends the inning. Reds leave 1. They lead this one, though, 5-1. Back now here at Rogers Center, and here's Heidi.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Blue Jays to discuss his thoughts on his team's lineup so far. And he told me he's pretty unhappy with their discipline at the plate in this one. He said they've been chasing at pitches out of the zone all game, which obviously doesn't usually lead to good results. Until they start being more selective with their swings, he said they will continue to struggle.
All right, Heidi, thank you. Ready to go for the last half of the inning. And in to bat next, the legacy Bo Bichette. The 1-1 is looked at for ball number 2.
Sitting in a good spot right here. 2-ball, 1-strike count is yet to see a fastball. Have to be sitting on one right here.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Misses down below the knee.
Team's been struggling on offense. Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
Now a fastball gets the upper part of the zone for strike 2. And that misses ball 4 now. It's a leadoff walk to get the home half of the 5th underway.
Well, he loses him there, but that's just the first walk he's given up, along with a couple of hits, so his command has been pretty solid so far.
In now, Lourdes Gurriel. He was a strikeout victim in his first try.
Yeah, and kind of shocked he got blown away with a fastball. You could tell he was late on that one, and we'll see if he tries to cheat to something this AB.
1-1. Now here's one hit in the air to the right side, but this is back into the seats, a foul ball. Breaking ball that time that misses out of the zone. Looking to punch him out again. The pitch hit hard up the middle, and that's through for a hit.
Hey, he did an amazing job just to be able to get wood on this baseball and drive it through the infield. And that pitch was executed perfectly. Breaking ball down below the zone. Nice job right there.
Into the box to Oscar Hernandez. 1-1 pitch is a slider that's cut on and missed for strike 2. The 1-2. And here's a ball lifted back toward the stands in right, so we'll try it again at 1-2. And a slider runs away from him there, and the count levels at 2-2. Trying to nibble here, and he misses to run it full now. 3-2. Rendell Grichuk waits on deck. Now the 3-2 pitch. And he misses with it, ball 4, so that'll load the bases, and now he's really going to need to get a ground ball.
That's a big no-no. He obviously had to work carefully with 2 men on, but he did not want to walk him to load the bases. Now he's really got his work cut out for him. We'll see how he fares here.
Next to bat for Toronto, Rendell Grichuk. He got called out on strikes his last time through.
You know, Matty, tough to go down looking right there, especially in a long at bat. I kind of tip my hat to the fact that he didn't go into uber swing mode. He battled. He just got locked up. Look for him to have another quality AB. I think he's seeing the ball pretty darn big right now.
Trying to send him packing for the second time. A full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
For the guy on the mound, this is one of those innings where nothing comes easy. He's thrown a bunch of pitches, and this AB hasn't been any different. Definitely laboring at the moment.
Count still full, 3-2. And the payoff pitch. To short, hit hard. To Morgan at the bag. On to first, and it's a double play, although the run does come in to score from third.
The batter.
Hey, bases loaded. Last thing you want to do is ground into a double play, and that's just what he does. 1 run scores, but you don't get an RBI in that spot. That's a rally killer.
Standing in, Danny Jansen, looking to put the ball in play here. He went down on strikes in his first at-bat. A 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Lifted into center field. And he'll get there in plenty of time to put this one away, and that ends the inning. So a run on 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. 5 innings complete. It's the Reds 5, the Blue Jays 2. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and standing in is the veteran outfielder Eric Davis. The 2-2. Looped out towards short. And a base hit, so the leadoff man is on to begin the inning.
Hey, sometimes that's how a rally gets started right there. I know it's a soft liner, but leadoff man on usually poses problems.
In now, Jesse Winker. Had to sit back on the changeup, and he did a good job to get the bat on that one. Now a move over to first, but the runner's back easily. And another throw over, keeping particularly close tabs on him. Fouled away. Payoff pitch one more time. Hard hit ball to second. And that finds its way through for a base hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
You know, as a former infielder, Danny, they always say you can't be in 2 places at once, but you got to be a little frustrated right here that ball found the hole.
Yeah, that's a tough thing. You make a quality pitch and the guy shoots one through the right side, normally a vacated spot right there. 9 out of 10 times somebody's there to make that play. Unfortunately not, and now we've got a couple of guys on.
2 balls and a strike now. 2-1, here it is. And this misses, so that'll fill the count at 3-2.
I don't think he can afford another base runner here, so whatever pitch he feels best about, whichever one he feels most comfortable with, that's the one I expect him to turn to.
5-2 is our score here in inning number 6. Hit sharply on the ground, and a sliding try there at third, but it skips by him, a base hit. Tack on another here as the runner scores from second.
Hey, Dero, they're making this guy pay. That's 3 straight singles and a run driven in.
Yeah, nothing hit extremely hard. Killing him softly, station to station with those knocks.
Into the box now, Barry Larkin. And this is low, ball 2. 2-1.
It's not easy to continue pounding the strike zone when you've given up 3 consecutive hits, but he has to trust that getting the ball down in the zone will get him an out.
6 runs, 7 hits, and no errors in the game for Cincinnati thus far. 3 balls and a strike to the shortstop of the Reds.
I love the approach out on the mound. Everything's down in the zone as it should be, but now you find yourself in a 3-1 count. Do you elevate a little bit more and get back in this zone, or do you just pitch around them?
Hit in the air to straightaway center. Carter is right there, 1 down.
Now back, second baseman, Joe Morgan.
Digging in, Joe Morgan. He's working on a 1-for-3 thus far. Runners are at first and second with 1 away. Two and 1 to Joe Morgan.
Great chance right here as a hitter to be really aggressive. With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot he's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
All even now, 2-2. Has a look, now the pitch. Now a ball sliced out of play down the left field line. Another try at 2-2.
Not a time to fool around right now on a 3-2 count with the middle part of the order coming up. Expect a good pitch to swing at.
Here's the payoff pitch. And he misses with that one. Ball 4, and that's going to load the bases now with still only 1 away.
Right about now, the manager's questioning his decision to bring this guy in. If you can't trust a reliever to throw strikes, you can't trust him at all. We'll see if he comes to get him sooner than later.
Ready now for Cincinnati, George Foster. It was a walk in his last trip. The 1-1. Grounder down the line at third. The second for 1. Relay to first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. Around the horn they go. 5-4 to 3 to end the threat. Back with more Monday Night Baseball following this. Michael Lorenzen will come on and make his 4th appearance in this campaign.
Number 21, Michael Lorenzen.
Digging in, the switch hitter, Roberto Alomar. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. And it's fouled away. Pitch is popped up. Perez has a play. 1 out.
the first baseman, number 9, John Olerud.
Into the box now, John Olerud. He was punched out looking at strike 3 last time through.
Yeah, and a borderline call, Matty. I don't know. I got to feel like he's got to build a rapport with this umpire, this AB. See how far he'll go in or out. He can't allow himself to go down looking again.
Davis is there now, and he has it. 2 gone.
Now batting, the third baseman, Paul Molitor.
Now in the box, Paul Molitor. He singled his last time up. The 1-1 is taken for ball 2. And he can't catch the corner here, so he's behind 3-1.
If you're at the plate right now, you have to realize who's on deck. I guarantee you something's over the heart of the plate. You have to be aggressive in the zone right here.
I think he held up in time, but that becomes moot as it's a called strike 2. 2 out, nobody on. Hit to third. Throw over to Perez will be in plenty of time, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Blue Jays. They still trail here. It's 6-2. Robbie Ray will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
Number 38, Robbie Ray.
Next will be the cleanup hitter, Tony Perez. It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
Almost, Matty. Almost went deep his last AB. Certainly just missed it. With this guy's big power, he's feeling pretty good at the dish. Look for him to try and get on something and drive it out of the yard this AB.
And that's high and off the plate, 2-1. Now some action out in the bullpen as a lefty and a right-hander begin throwing. He's fallen behind now, 3-1.
Well, it's a pretty well-known fact that your batting average goes up as you get into more favorable hitters counts, and that's especially true when we're talking about this kind of hitter. Not a great spot to be in if you're the pitcher.
Into the windup, ready with the payoff pitch. A bouncer to the left side. And the throw to first is in time, so the leadoff man is gone here to start inning number 7.
Now batting, the catcher, Johnny Bench.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Johnny Bench. He's 0 for 2 with a walk thus far. 1 out, nobody on. Oh, and you can tell he wanted to hold off, but he swings through the inside pitch anyway, and he becomes out number 2. That was a nasty looking slider that time.
Yeah, that was really well executed, Matt. A classic strikeout pitch. You think it's fastball middle in, then it starts bearing in on your back leg, and unless you hit it out front, there's nothing much you can do with that.
At the plate, Adam Dunn. Strike 2 swinging just out in front of the slider. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Hard liner, but picked up on a hop. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. 1, 2, 3 go the Reds. They lead it 6-2. Raisel Iglesias will come on in relief as he'll make his 2nd appearance of the season so far.
Raisel Iglesias.
So here's the cleanup hitter, Joe Carter. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far.
It doesn't look very promising so far in this one as we move into the later innings. Down by a bundle, it's time to get some base runners and hopefully a long ball to get them back into this one. Hey, this is a real pesky hitter right here. As a pitcher, you really like to keep this guy off the bases. This is a guy that kind of sets the tables for big innings.
2-2. drilled right back up the middle. Speared on the dive. Wow.
The batter, number 11. Shortstop. Yes.
Digging in now, Bo Bichette. Bases are empty, one man out. And that one got a piece of him.
That ball hit him.
Well, they say beggars can't be choosers. And when you're losing, you can't always choose how you get on base. But you've got to get on any way that you can. So he'll take that, even though it probably hurts a little bit.
Coming to the plate now, Lourdes Gurriel. 1 for 2 on his line so far in the game. Now the 1-1 pitch. And here's a ball hit in the air. Long run for the right fielder, and no one will track it down. Line towards center field. In there, a base hit.
Definitely tried to elevate the heater right there with 2 strikes, but caught way too much of the plate. Nice execution by the hitter.
Hernandez.
So that'll bring in Teoscar Hernandez. It was a walk in his last trip. First and second now, one man out. Is swung on and driven out to right center field. A ball that's well hit. Center fielder going back. Gone! So a 3-run shot to right center field. Second home run early in the year. And this will make things interesting at this point. It's now a 6-5 game.
They seem to forget that the game started a while ago, but better late than never, I guess. Sometimes one big hit is all it takes to get a team going. We'll see if they can build on it and make a run here.
Archie Bradley takes the call from the pen as he'll try to get the final 2 outs of this 7th frame.
Archie Bradley.
So now to the plate, Rendell Grichuk. And this one's chopped foul right at home plate. Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. Taken off the outside as the breaking ball couldn't catch the corner. And now the Reds are going to get the bullpen moving here, and it's a lefty and a right-hander up and throwing. 3 runs already home here. And a fastball blew it right by him, and there are 2 down. Ready once again, Danny Jansen. No hits to this point. Hard ground ball to third. Throw to first will get him easily, and the side is retired. One more look at the big blow for the Blue Jays. A 3-run home run. We'll march on to the 8th. It's tightened up a bit at 6-5 now. Ready to begin the 8th, and next will be a speed threat in the form of outfielder Eric Davis. The 1-1 home.
2-1.
And he comes back with a gorgeous slider there for strike 2. Liner in there for a base hit.
Hey, guys, I like the execution by the batter there. He got a hanger in the middle of the plate. He could have come unglued, but he didn't. He stayed focused and drove a line drive base hit.
Now a throw over to first. At the plate now, Jesse Winker. Left side, but well foul. And he tried to hold up that time. We'll get an appeal down to third, and no swing. It's ball 3. Three-two pitch. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Carter will settle under it to make the play for the first out, as the runner will have to head back to first.
The third baseman, number 7, Eugenio Suarez.
So one away here in the Reds' half of the 8th, and that'll bring in Eugenio Suarez. Runners on first with 1 down. Now a throw over, and he has to dive, but he's back in easily. And again a throw, keeping particularly close tabs on him. On the ground is short. Could this be 2? Oh, and he takes his eye off it here, and it goes right past him. And he'll move up to third now. Runners at the corners here with 1 away.
Usually these guys turn that 6-4-3 double play in their sleep, but it looks like he rushed the feed just a little bit. You have to be sure to get at least 1 out. Now we'll see if the guy on the mound can pick up the defense.
Stepping up to the plate, Barry Larkin. And he's got runners at the corners here with only 1 gone. Runners are at the corners with 1 man out. Looked like the fastball got away from him there. It's ball 2.
That's a good take on a fastball out of the zone. Hey, I get it. He's looking for a ball to drive, but that ball was a little bit too far up in the zone. That's one you normally pop right up.
Now the 2-1 pitch is looked at for ball 3.
Couldn't be a whole lot better situation to hit it now. 3-1, 2 on. He's got to be thinking he's going to get a pitch he can drive right here.
And he misses with it, ball 4, so that'll load the bases, and now he's really going to need to get a ground ball.
These guys on defense are still within striking distance, but after that walk, 1 swing of the bat could really blow this thing wide open.
Into the box now, Joe Morgan. It was a walk in his last trip. On the ground is short. This could be 2. Bichette gathers it in. 1 there, and the relay won't nearly be in time as he's there easily.
They couldn't turn the inning-ending double play. They just get the force out at second, and the runner scores from third.
At the plate, George Foster. He's 2 for 3 thus far. Runners on first and third, 2 away. Lays off the slider that time, 2-1.
His pitch count is getting up there in the inning now. He needs to get this frame over with sooner than later, so forcing contact and getting the defense involved is probably the best thing he can do.
3 balls and a strike to the Reds left fielder.
I'd be real surprised if he goes back out away there on the mound. This is a count for a fastball challenge, and we'll see if he's ready for it in the box.
Swung on and hit deep to left center. This one has a chance, and it's gone. So a 3-run shot to left center, the 349th of his career, as this is now a 5-run cushion. Anthony Bass enters the ball game out of the pen, looking for the final out here in the top of inning number 8.
Anthony.
Standing in now, Tony Perez. Hit hard on the ground to second. Throw in time, and they stop the bleeding as this side is retired. But 4 runs score in the inning, 3 coming right here on the 3-run home run. On now to the bottom of inning number 8. It's the Reds 10, the Blue Jays 5. Matt Bowman will come on in relief as he'll make his 2nd appearance of the season so far. Bottom of inning number 8 set to go, and standing in as the switch hitting second baseman, Roberto Alomar. And this is taken here for ball 4. So the leadoff man's on base to kick off the home 8th.
The first baseman, number 9, John.
At the plate, John Overwood. It was a fly out for him in his last trip. Nobody out, runner on first. A 2-1 count to the Blue Jays first baseman.
All you want is the leadoff man to get on to start a big inning, maybe get a big rally going to claw your way back into this ball game.
And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Lifted down the line in left. And this will wind up a foul ball. A runner at first with no outs here. And he fouls this one off. The 2-2 one more time. Is swung on and missed, strike 3. Now to the plate, Paul Molitor. He was retired via the ground ball last time up.
Yeah, Matty, expect this pitcher to try and get the same result as his last at bat right here. The double play is in order. Anything on the ground, the way this defense is, they could certainly roll 2.
Hit the target, but this is low, 2-1. Runner at first here, 1 man out. Sent on the ground out to second. There's 1. Over to Perez for a side retiring double play. Down in order go the Blue Jays. They've got some work to do. It's 10-5. Settling in now, Johnny Bench. No hits in 3 tries so far. He's struck out once. 1-1. Fouled off. Bass is a reliever known for forcing contact. Not a huge strikeout guy most of the time, but he also doesn't issue a lot of free passes either.
There's a couple of keys to being a good reliever. One, if you have great stuff and you strike everybody out, or like this guy, not afraid to throw the ball in the strike zone. He has good stuff, not great stuff. He's not afraid to let his defense help him out and make some plays.
And this will miss down low in the dirt, so he's worked it full now at 3-2.
Wow, talk about a waste pitch on 2-2. That one wasn't even close. I don't know anyone that would have swung at that pitch.
The batter, number 44, designated hitter,
Striding forward now is the DH, Adam Dunn. He was a ground out victim last time up. A 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. And this one's in the dirt. And he'll rein it in as the count moves to 1-2. Nobody out, runner on first. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. Done with that open stance, and here's the pitch.
These are the kind of ABs, regardless of the outcome, you go back to the dugout as the offensive player, and your teammates are loving on you for making that pitcher work and battling it out.
The 3-2 pitch to Dunn. And he can only battle for so long as he's finally set down here after an 8-pitch at-bat.
Beautiful backdoor slider for the punch-out right there, guys. When it's tight like this one was, it looks like a fastball off the plate, then darts back at the corner at the last second. Locked him up completely with that one.
In now, Eric Davis. Wisely lays off the cut fastball there. It's 2-1. And that misses off the plate and low, so it's 3-1 now.
Call didn't go his way on 2-1, but it's important here on 3-1 to still make a quality pitch. You have to have the mindset that you're still the one in the driver's seat.
Shoots this one to first. That gets down. He's got himself a base hit. And this will kick off the base of the wall. And they'll have runners at second and third following the one-out double.
No mistake what he was sitting on, looking for a dead red piece of cheese middle of the plate, and he didn't miss it.
Stepping in, Jesse Winker. He hits here in a spot where he might be able to put this one out of reach.
Yeah, Matt, down 5, another run across here could very well put the nail in the coffin. Mentally, they might still feel like they've got a shot if they could get out of this jam, though.
Taken, called strike 2 on the inside part of the plate. 1-2 now. Now a swing, and he gets him to pop it up, and that'll get down for a base hit. And the second run will score as well.
I thought this was getting ugly when they scored double digits in runs, but they tack on a couple more here to make it an even dozen. You're going to win about 99% of the games when you score 12 runs. Simple as that.
To the plate now, Eugenio Suarez. And that's into the corner, a foul ball and right. And another foul ball. Softly hit down to third, likely no shot at 2. To second for 1, on to first, and he really paid the price at second base, but it's a double play, and the inning is over. So they get a couple of runs on 2 hits, no errors, and no one left aboard. On to the bottom of inning number 9. 4, 5, and 6 coming up. It's the Reds 12, the Blue Jays 5. So now it'll be the 4-hole hitter, Joe Carter, starting things for his side in the 9th as they face the improbable odds of trying to come back in this one.
Yeah, not a lot of hope for them at this point. But these guys know these bats still count, at least for their own stats. You can't mill in your chances as a professional.
From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. fouled away. Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue. He'll try again, 1-2. That misses, and we're even at 2-2.
Great job to lay off that pitch after fouling off so many previous to it. I got to believe that pitchers certainly get frustrated in these types of at-bats.
Here now the 2-2 is looked at, and the count moves full.
He's definitely going to want to get greedy in his zone, and he's obviously seeing the ball well, or he would have swung at that pitch. Sometimes in these long epic at-bats, you start to get into swing mode.
Into the windup, ready with the payoff pitch. And could this be the start? It's a long way back, but the leadoff man is on base to start their final set of at-bats.
And that at-bat will put a smile on any manager's face. The pitch total of the opposing pitcher just keeps going higher and higher, and he still couldn't put him away. So this inning is off to a good start for the guys carrying the sticks.
So striding in, Bo Bichette. He's got to be looking for vengeance after getting plunked in his last at-bat.
Yeah, Matty, you're not lying. Last time up, squared right in the back. Hopefully it doesn't stiffen up. I want to see if he can get through something right here.
A diving try, but he can't haul it in. It's through for a base hit.
Now batting, the designated hitter, Lourdes Gurriel.
So striding forward now, Lourdes Gurriel. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
This is why it's so hard to be successful as a hitter when you fall behind in the count. 1-2, you're probably expecting some sort of off-speed pitches, but when the pitcher offers up a good hard fastball, it's pretty hard to adjust and catch up to it.
At the plate, Teoscar Hernandez hit down the third baseline. Well, this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Runners are at first and second with one away. Bounce to first. To second for one. On to first, and he rolls a double play ball to end it here as this ball game is over.
Yeah, and they end this thing with style, turning that double play to preserve the win. That's what we call finishing strong.
12-5 is the final in this ball game. Cincinnati scored 12 times en route to a win tonight. Tyler Mahle earns his first win of the season. Tanner Roark was only able to work 4 innings as he takes the loss. So that's a wrap here tonight. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, and Heidi Watney, this is Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, find us on Twitter at MLB The Show.
Time of the ball game, 4 hours and 19 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We remind you to please drive home safely.